What's going on, guys? My name's Tarun Shetty. Welcome to the ConvoSutra. We have a fantastic show lined up for you. We have our usual panelist and a very special guest. So excited for this show. But first, let's do a quick intro for our audio listeners.
What's up, guys? It's Jazz. I'm the host of the Hot Chai Pod, a Bollywood gossip and film review podcast.
What's up, guys? It's Pritesh Shah. Always good to be back.
Hey, everyone. My name is SHIVANI SHAH. I'm a dancer. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, Shivani, welcome to the ConvoSutra. So excited to have you.
Let's go.
I've been watching your social media stuff for a while now. Huge influencer, great dancer. Love the colors you're wearing today on the show.
Thank you. I recently discovered orange is one of my colors. It's a very recent discovery, actually.
How do you discover your colors?
I have to shout out one of my really good friends. She is my fashion guru. She went thrifting with me one day, and I was like, Nurali, like I need to change up my style. Like I really hate what I'm wearing these days. And she's like, okay. She's like, we got to start with the colors. And we went, and she was like, she pulled out this top actually, and I was like, no way. And then she's like, trust. I was like, nope. And then she's like, trust. And then this was actually one of the fits that like
Looks
she
good.
put together.
Good.
Yeah.
We can get away with a lot with our pigmentation. It gives us a lot more options for bright colors, I feel like, compared to like white people.
Yeah.
I think people mistakenly think, though, all brown is like warm toned. And you could be cool, you could be olive toned,
Yeah.
but still just brown.
I have no idea what you said.
What I took away from that was Indians thrift. Like, we always look for the best deals. We always look for the best
No,
deals.
Tarun, she's Gujarati.
Oh, okay. Is that a difference?
Doubly.
It's also
Jessica, we're cheap. We're the cheap Indians, you know
guys,
they say.
it's more about the environment also.
Yeah.
You can especially when you're trying new things. Sometimes I just don't think it's worth dropping like the biggest dollar on something you don't even know that you're gonna like for a long time. I will spend, but I wasn't sure about this one. So I was like, let me be safe right now.
I'm always up for the best deal, but I also have this thing where like the Daisy in me where I've got to like flex sometimes too. I don't know if like that's built into us. Like we have to like.
You mean flex like you drop some coin?
Well, at least show like I have my life together. The normal people, you know.
But most of LA is an act. Like everyone has everything. They can't afford most of their lifestyle.
No, but don't you think like Daisy's like once they make it in life, they're like, oh, I gotta buy a Mercedes, I gotta buy a Rolex, I gotta buy this. She knows. What handbag do you have, Jasmine?
Jazz love the names.
I'm not a big handbag person, but I do like watches.
I like watches too. I dropped some. You have a nice watch.
I do. It's great. All right, so you're a dancer. How did you get into dancing? Because you're really talented. I see all your Instagram stuff.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, I grew up doing Bharatanatyam as a kid, as do most of us, some sort of like Indian classical dance, but I did grow up in Southern California. So my reason for dance growing up wasn't so much dance, it was more like connection to culture. My mom really tried to get me into something that would let me, feel connected because I was very much the only South Asian person in my class and grade and everything.
Where'd you grow up?
Near Pasadena.
Oh,
out
you're
here.
like local.
Local, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I loved it. But I was a sports kid. I played a bunch of sports. Didn't really think of
Cricket?
No.
You can tell
Cricket
batsman.
in Pasadena.
She has it down.
Kabaddi?
I was a tennis. I close
Carom.
to Carom. No, I played tennis. And I did musical theater. Like I loved the performing arts. Just definitely wasn't pushed to go down that path. Was told to kind of steer away. So I focused a lot more on my sports, my academics. But in college, I always knew I wanted to have some sort of connection still. Like my older cousin and friends that I had, they were on these dance teams in the UCs, And I was like, well, that looks fun. I could have Indian friends. That's what I wanted to do. Like go to a school, find Indian friends. That was my goal. So I did go to school, just ended up because of my major going to the one school that actually didn't really have a dance team.
Which one?
UC Santa Barbara.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe, everything happens for a reason in some ways. So
Did you find your Daisy friends?
yeah, I did try. It was really hard in the beginning, actually.
That was really important to you to have Daisy friends?
So important.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I felt really disconnected from myself.
Oh, okay.
Like I was always made fun of as being the whitewashed brown kid. But the thing is, I was like, I literally don't know anything. I mean, I I did know enough, but I didn't feel like I didn't grow up with the Bollywood movies as much, things like that. So I was like, I just know the music. Dance is like my speaking. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I wanted to do.
Pritesh grew up with the Bollywood movies.
Really? Yeah,
Not much.
The Gujarati movies.
Gujarati movies.
This is Miss Bollywood over here
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I'll be at parties. All my friends know all the hook steps to every single song ever. And I'm like, dude, this is insane memory.
You grew up in Pasadena, so you didn't have like a lot of Indian friends in high school or in
No, I was the
middle
only, like my graduating class was 500 people. I was the only Indian person.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
'Cause I would assume Pasadena would have a lot more.
I think it has grown now.
Okay.
When I grew up, I think there was a lot less.
That's Pasadena, California, for people who don't know.
Yes.
Which is what, about 25 miles east
Yeah,
of
from
LA.
Los
Yeah,
Angeles, where
and
we are.
Pasadena is beautiful, and people are very open-minded. Like I would take my white friends to Garba and stuff, but when I'm not learning from my environment. I'm more like sharing. I did a Indian dance at our talent show, but people didn't really know what I was doing. It was more like I was like, I'll share, but no one knows. But yeah, so in college, fast forward to the timeline, but I was like, I'm not leaving here without like properly dancing. I joined like a little club dance thing we had, but didn't really like fill my cup the same way. So with one of my best friends, I actually co-founded a competitive Bollywood fusion dance team.
There's the Indian in you. You're like, let
Yeah,
me just start
I
my
was
own
like, let me
CEO
start it
company.
We'll
myself.
start our own business
Yeah.
and we'll make money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Start
and
merchandising.
Yeah.
honestly did all of that without the money part, but we actually spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I built a dance team one summer and full forced it. So we actually started competing in our first year and like traveled nationally.
And it was all female dance team,
All
right?
female.
Yeah.
That was really important.
What was the
to me.
name?
UCSB Thara.
Oh, okay.
So that was for college.
For
students.
college, I started it, at school. We also, Santa Barbara at the time was probably like one of the UCs with the least amount of South Asian people.
Yeah.
But actually, after our dance team, there was a huge inflow of South Asian people coming to school like the following years, which was really cool to see. But yeah, we built that. We competed. We danced, and that was where I realized I actually love dance. So that was maybe the start of where the rest of me began. More than just a passion. I really joined TikTok like after college because I felt like that was the kid thing to do, and I didn't want to do it at first. And then
So you pretty much had this organic growth of like
Very
what you
organic,
like. And
yeah.
I feel like that's how we are like Daisies in general. Like we find our interests young.
Yeah.
And our parents, like Bharatanatyam, I know every Daisy. Do you do
Yeah.
Bharatanatyam? Except for Jasmine was the only person who didn't do
I
Bharatanatyam.
did competitive cheer.
oh yeah, see, I wanted
sister-
to cheer.
Oh, my sister Bharatanatyam. Did you have your Arangetra?
I actually stopped right before it.
Okay.
I finished Bharatanatyam, and then you either like do the show or you don't. But
And
I
it's
was
7 years, right?
I did,
Usually.
yeah, I did the
Okay.
whole
Wait,
thing.
Bharatanatyam 7 years to master the art?
Well, before
Master.
but
don't know
usually
anything
after,
about it.
just so people don't know Arangetra, I mean, you could tell, but isn't it 7 years of studying and then you have an Arangetra, which is like your graduation? It's a huge performance. My sister,
It
I was
is
like a big
exactly
deal.
that. It's a graduation. So
Yeah.
imagine going through a whole course of school.
Yeah.
Everyone can graduate with a different level, right? You could either be the best in your class, you could be whatever, but you still graduate. So the Arangetam is your showcase.
Okay.
So it's like your graduation ceremony.
Okay.
So I did finish, say, the curriculum, but to put on that ceremony is also like a very time-consuming thing. You train the musicians come from India, and at the time, I really wanted to focus on my sport.
So you're a Bharatanatyam dropout. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, you dropped out.
dropped out. Dang.
No, that's great. Congratulations.
No, but it's an insane thing because it's not just like you put it on at like a little center. It's like a big.
It's a 3-hour-long solo show.
Yeah,
No,
like
I know.
in a theater with people.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Family, like my sisters, like all of our relatives flew in. It was like a
Yeah,
huge thing.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I know
I wish I did.
every young girl out there who's studying Bharatanatyam, I know the amount of work it takes. And it definitely pays off because we've had dancers on the show and a lot of their foundation is Bharatanatyam,
Classical,
Indian
yeah.
dance,
Or
classical.
Kathak, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in the Western world, most professional dancers have a ballet jazz foundation.
That's a good point.
I
Yeah.
would equate the same amount of work, and it's actually one of the conversations today. It's like I wish people understood what went into Indian classical training on all fronts. There's Kathak, there's Odyssey, there's other forms, right? But they are equally intensive, they're equally complicated, and they're equally foundational. You could not pick up, Bharatanatyam overnight.
When you studied it, did you learn in like a garage or was it concrete? My sister did, right?
Yes.
And I wanted to ask
garage?
you. Yeah,
It's
so
a
my
garage,
my
concrete
sister's
floor.
it was like a lot of the teachers will teach in their garage, right? So you're on concrete floors, and it's really messed up my sister's knees.
Oh, really?
Like she's had a lot of knee issues from just years because aren't getting so much pounding,
So
not on
much.
a bar, not so much pounding on like
Yeah.
concrete doesn't have give. And she's
Okay.
had knee. So I was wondering if you've had like
Yeah.
issues with your body because of.
So I did do a garage. My teacher put in a dance floor into the garage.
Okay, well, smart.
Yeah, because maybe she, and that's her business, you know.
Yeah.
So she was-
Oh, that's so interesting. I'm learning
did.
stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever study anything? Like your parents force you into any Indian cultural thing?
I play
as
the
a kid?
tablas.
You did?
Oh,
that's
I still
cool.
play them, yeah.
Was that your decision or your parents?
I was always into like percussion, and then I was one of those kids that like you play on the yogurt containers, and they knew, and it's just something that I really enjoyed. I love rhythm and bass because in band I played trumpet. I know, but then I played tabla, and I still have them.
In the band you played tabla, you should have like
No, I played
awesome.
trumpet in band. But yeah, the tablas, so I kind of
Very
connect to
cool.
what you just said because there will be times if I'm feeling like low or cathartic or something like that, I'll like bring them out and like go
Really?
through my book
Yeah.
and then I'll just play them and it kind of just makes me feel
That's awesome.
connected. But I should do it more and I end up doing it like once a
Dude,
quarter.
open invite to play tabla on the ConvoSutra. We'd love to hear a
Yeah,
little.
interlude.
That was
Little performance.
awesome.
It
It's very
is.
cool, especially now. Everyone's fusing tabla
Yeah,
with
yeah,
even
yeah.
Western music.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love it a lot.
What about you, Jazz? What did you do?
Was I forced into any hobbies? No, I was forced into studying. So
That is a big Indian thing, though. Like you
Yeah,
have to
there
do
was-
well.
zero encouragement of the arts or sports even, which I was okay with. I think my mom explored. Actually, she took me to a Kathak studio, I remember, and I was like, and that's when I think I went to cheer instead, and I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't identify. I didn't feel connected to it. But you know what's funny? You mentioned it's so foundational, and I agree. People don't see like how much, like even the micro movements and expressions, and it,
You have the focus.
and the
Yeah.
best Bollywood actresses, like who dance, rather have a classical background,
Yes. Yeah.
and the rest are kind of. It's like if you know, you know, but it's like what distinguishes someone like a Madhuri Dixit or
I
Aishwarya
was
Rai
just gonna
from
say,
like
I knew Madhuri Dixit. I knew you'd be proud of me.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best.
from
love-
like
I love
a
Govinda.
Katrina
Yeah.
Kaif, you know, who's like
Yeah.
she's a good dancer, but it's like athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I'm so blessed. Like, I was forced into it, and we could say we were forced into it, but yeah, it's true. I was forced into it, but I also think it was genuinely one of the best. Like, my mom actually did it with me for like the first many
That's cool.
years. Yeah, we
She
did
did
it
it-
together.
She learned Bharatanatyam.
Yeah, we
with
were
you?
in class together.
Oh, that's
so it's like a
cool.
little.
But would you say you're forced into starting it, but were you forced into staying in it? Like,
Continuing,
did you
yeah.
constantly want to quit, or did they introduce it to you and then you're like, oh, I like this. I'm going to do this on my own accord?
No, I would say I would lean in the middle. Like as a kid growing up, seeing all your friends doing like the cheer, the ballet, the whatever, I was like, why am I in this thing that no one understands? I went through that phase.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I still had to go every week. And when you're there, ultimately you're dancing, and that was where I was happy. So it was like I had to be forced to get there sometimes. But I also think it was coming from a place of like rebellion because I didn't get to choose. Like, like I wanted to choose. But now that I can choose, I would choose to do it all over again.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is there a Bollywood star that you liked who was a dancer?
I hate these questions because yes.
Okay, why?
Well, Rithik.
Yes.
Controversial.
Rithik, I think, is one of the best like movers I've seen on screen.
He's
Rithik
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no female?
There are, Madhuri, she's amazing.
You pissed off Jasmine. She's like, no women
Excuse me,
empowerment.
I said women.
No, let me think on that
Hrithik Roshan
one.
didn't do Bharatanatyam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his movements are
No, he's
absurd.
amazing.
Yeah.
I show him to all my white friends. I'm like, yo,
he's-
check this
Yeah.
out.
Look at our Greek god Indian guy.
I personally love Jacqueline Fernandez.
What?
I don't even.
I do
I've
like
heard
her
of her.
moving.
I've never seen her
I
stuff.
like the way she moves. Here's my take on Bollywood dancers. Maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't think people put as much work into the dance training aspect of their career as they do in the performing. Usually it's like the background dancers like pulling the weight, in my opinion.
For a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. You're an actress, right? But I think when it comes to like the Korean industry or like K-pop, right? One thing they do is they train their dance as much as they train their performing and their singing. And I don't know. Again, I didn't grow up with Bollywood, so
But that's
I
a
don't have
little
the
different
same-
because that would be comparing like kind of like the Disney stars who are like triple threats.
Yeah.
I think with Bollywood, they
Britney
have a
Spears.
background. They're not singing. It's like it's just a track.
Right, but their
So-
whole Bollywood's built on like item numbers and songs that
Yeah,
the hook
I mean, I get
steps,
it,
the
yeah.
dance,
Well,
right?
actually, I mean, in some ways, item numbers, but also some of it is a song that's meant to carry part of the story.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
it's still very much acting.
True.
And actually, I spoke about this in a prior episode of my podcast, and I said, like, sometimes these professionally trained dancers come in, and I mean professionally, like modern dance, right? Not
Sure.
classical.
Yeah.
And they almost look a little bit like rigid and robotic when
Yeah.
they're like doing the hook step, and they don't look like, it kind of takes you a little bit out of the story of
Sure,
like, wait,
yeah.
are you, what is this performance of a lifetime?
Yeah.
Wow,
instead
you
of
guys
just
really
like,
analyzing this. I just
art.
watched the dance videos. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that looks cool.
I will
Tarun's
say,
like, she's hot.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, it's hard for me to sit through a whole Bollywood movie nowadays. Like, they're like so long. I still need like an intermission.
I haven't
for
seen one in
myself.
like 5 years.
I just went last week.
yeah. Let me say one thing about Bollywood. I think that there's so much to learn from Bollywood. I think the way people emote in Bollywood is unlike any other industry.
Yeah.
And it is so hard to be able to carry that, like you said, through songs, through stories, and like they're always telling their story when they're performing. And I think that's insane.
So wait, if you were not super into Bollywood, how did you decide to co-found a Bollywood fusion dance troupe?
It was like me learning Bollywood way later in
Okay.
life to like find my culture again. Like
Like
to
the
find it.
popular kind of choice for other South Asians at UCSB?
What do you mean by that?
Like that would have attracted the most amount of people instead of a classical troupe.
Just who she is intrinsically as an Indian, right?
Exactly. Like I am, like a Desi person raised in America. I was on a Bungar team first. So I
Okay.
learned and that was me. I was like really into Punjabi music. I still am. And that was something I wanted to try, but when I learned that, I still didn't feel like it was me,
Okay.
And Bollywood fusion is like a fusion of styles. So it's
Yeah.
Bollywood, it's hip hop, it's Bhangra, it's classical. It's all in there.
I can relate to you because I'm from I was born and brought up in New Hampshire. We were the only Indians as well.
Yeah.
But the last 20 years, all I've made is really like content pushing South Asian, promoting South Asian culture, like this podcast or web series or movies. But the reason why I think I do that is because I am Indian at the end of the day. Even though not some Bollywood enthusiast or Indian, like it's still part of me and I want to promote the culture.
Yeah.
I connect to it as well because what you said, it basically defines who I am, or a lot of us are. Like that's a part of our culture. We're born here, so I love the hip hop Indian mix. Like all the artists that
Yeah.
do that, I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. I like that.
Yeah.
Because it's both of the cultures that are my life,
Yeah.
right? And that's why I connect to that the most. It's the most fun to dance to or listen to.
Yeah.
When they take like a hip hop beat with some Hindi
Yeah.
in it,
Or like the EDM mixes of the
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this
it's
is
so
cool.
sick
Yeah.
to me. Like Zach Knight does that.
Yeah.
And like he's one of my favorite artists that kind of do
great.
that. Yeah.
Do you know when you listen to music and it reminds you of a time in your life?
Mm-hmm.
I associate music to a lot of that. For me, Bollywood isn't a lot of Bollywood isn't associated with my like childhood. It's
Yeah.
associated with me finding myself at a much later age. And that's why it's like the way I feel it and see it will be a lot different to my friends who literally rave about like watching, Kal Ho Na Ho as a kid and like all these movies. And I'm like, well, I'm learning them now for the first time and I love it. I love it. It's just that I won't relate to it the same way.
I know so many young Desi kids who watch old movies and they discover. My cousin, who's like in his early 20s, is watching old Bollywood movies and he's really into it.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about Dances and Desi Heels. So those are your companies. Like that's the brand you're building right now.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah. Well, Dances was born because I wanted a place to share my dance journey. And I was like, there's so many, like I couldn't get Shivani Shah taken to the thousands out on the internet. So I was like, okay, well, I dance. So I created Dances.
That's your website or
It's just my Instagram.
your Instagram? Okay.
Yeah. And I just, again, my social media was always just a place for me to look back to one day to like document what it is I'm doing, my growth, the imperfection into the cool stuff that I eventually got to do that I didn't start thinking I was going to be able to do. But anyway, today, like the way I found the heel side of me was actually like 2 years ago now.
And that's you dancing in heels.
Yes, dancing in high heels. It's a dance style. And essentially it's like a very feminine dance style that I wasn't, there are definitely South Asians doing it. I just hadn't really, I wasn't in that world. I hadn't seen a lot of it. And in LA, I was training in hip hop, footwork, all these dance styles. Like at this point, I was a professional dancer and I was like working on myself. And 2 years ago, I left a job that was like a corporate job that I really was like pretty burnt out by. Dance has always been my outlet, first and foremost, before it was ever a job. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to random dance classes. I'm going to do something uncomfortable, just tried all these random dance classes, and I ended up in a heels class. The heels class was the scariest one for me. And I looked around, you know, everyone's like having so much fun. You have people of all ethnicities, like everyone looks different, but there weren't really any like South Asian people in the class. And it was one of those like industry classes out in
No
LA.
guys in the class?
There were guys in the class. See,
Really?
there's guys in the class.
A lot of gay guys. A lot of gay guys
I
in the
didn't know
dancing
that.
heels
They're-
class.
they're
You don't
guys
have to be
in-
gay
I
to
know,
be in a
they're good.
heels class.
There's a guy who's a big heels dancer. I watched this. I'm
Really?
pretty sure most of them are gay though.
I've never even heard of this.
But-
yeah, I would say most.
Most are gay, but that's fine. But I'm saying there's this guy who's made popular. Really, I used to watch him on YouTube. He's a phenomenal dancer, and he does everything in heels.
Yeah, in India, there's great. Maybe he's from India.
No, he's not Indian, but he's phenomenal.
Okay, send me stuff. I want to see.
I will send you a link to
Yeah.
one of his videos. Yeah, but
That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I just was confused why I felt so estranged being in that class. Like, I felt like I didn't belong. But I was like, no, like, I want to go back. So I went back. And then I was like, still feel really uncomfortable. Like, it was so uncomfortable to have my own hand on my leg. Fast forward a few months, I started loving it. I was like, I just felt so called to be in that room, that space. I started taking a bunch of heels classes. Like, I loved it.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you like what you see, please consider advertising with us. Reach out at theconvosutra@gmail.com. Do Desi girls have a problem like dancing sexy?
Sensual, yeah. That's
Because we
what I was
grew up
thinking.
with like conservative values. Is that an issue for
I
you?
think it's a huge issue because then I went home and my parents were like, what are you doing?
How did
and
they
they got-
know? Oh, because they saw it on your Instagram.
Yeah, on my Instagram.
they follow shiv.dances. Both of them
They do, and
Yeah.
and my it was not received well, and
By both parents.
yes, by both. Specifically, my dad's a little bit more conservative.
You're like, I'm rebelling.
Well, I understand a
Yes, you
dad's
guys.
perspective. You're his baby girl, so
Yeah,
it's weird for
but
him.
I was confused because here I was feeling empowered, and then I would come home to feeling
Shamed.
the opposite,
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
And they're like, "This is not your culture. This is not what the values."
This is not
And I
why
was
we
like-
sent you the Bharatanatyam.
And I was like, hold
They're like,
on.
this is not the Arangetram beta. This is not what we wanted for that.
And that was more of a wake up call to me because I was like, I'm okay. Like, I know the value that this is bringing to myself
Yeah.
and who I am, and there's no reason to be ashamed of this. I'm proud of myself, But then I was like, how many girls probably face this and don't ever get to, feel confident about themselves and maybe even in life, like feeling like they gotta hide themselves and just feel like they can't take up space. I need to create the space. There's no way.
Sure.
There's no way I'm not going to because this is not okay with me. So
I think any artistic
Yeah.
journey, you've got to go through that, stage where you're just kind of
Yeah.
finding yourself and you go through these different phases.
And the parent part, because they, as much as they love you and take care of you, they also define sometimes the old version of you.
Exactly,
And that's
yeah.
the
Limitations.
The limitations, and because the old version is what was comfortable for them. I always say when you grow and change, your circle may
Yeah.
feel a certain way because they're used to a different version of
Exactly,
you.
yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Jasmine, did you ever do anything that you had to grow and learn as a kid and put yourself through tough times?
As a kid, seems like she
Even
did this
now.
as an adult.
That's the thing about this, it never stops.
it never
Yeah.
stops.
nothing-
it really
yeah.
doesn't.
People always think, oh, when you reach adulthood, you figured it all out. Like, I see my parents sometimes, and I'm like, oh, they were going because I'm probably my parents' age when I was a kid, and I was like, they were going through the same stuff of uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen next. It's never stops. Like, so maybe when we're like 60 years old, 7 years old, we're still trying to figure it out. So life's
my
an ongoing
parents
journey.
My parents are in their mid-60s, and they've grown so much in the last few years. The growth I've seen in them,
Yeah.
like spiritually, and they're in their mid-60s.
Let's not let Jasmine off the hook.
Oh yeah. She got quiet.
You go through.
I guess there's been a couple of, friction points with my parents, and I think one of those was in college. They really wanted me to be pre-med, so I rebelled and I was pre-dental, which how
Oh, girl, let me tell you, Jazz.
I'm a bad girl. And so whatever. And then they were like okay with it. And then I like shadowed a dentist, and I'm a huge germaphobe. And my friend was like, Jasmine, I don't think you're gonna like being a dentist. So I went and I was like, this is truly the most wretched thing I've seen. And so I was like, I need to find a new career. I need to find a new career.
Wretched. I mean, that's a word.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? And I was reading Cosmo, and I saw this article about this, and I shouldn't even say it. It was like I went to college 2 years early, right? So I was a little young trying to figure this out. And it was like a sexologist, PhD, Cosmo talking about like mimicking body language and how you connect on dates. And I was like, oh, I want to be a sexologist. And my mom was like, no, like, do not tell your father this. And she's like, just say psychologist. He was super unhappy. They were both unhappy. And I just kind of kept doubling down on that. You know, they're like, oh, go get your MBA. And I went and did my master's in consumer psychology, which is a little bit more niche, like behavioral economics. So that was like, they were kind of supportive, but kind of like, oh, you're not picking like a chosen path. I mean, it was only the second year of that program at NYU. So it was always like something like a little bit new and different. And ultimately I found myself, you know, in tech. But
I've had this belief that a lot of Daisies, even though we're successful, a lot of them live in quiet desperation, even though they're married with kids.
quiet desperation.
What does that
That's
mean?
most people's
Like,
That's
lives.
everybody, I think.
It's like, you know, they're forced into careers that they never really wanted. I'm not saying everybody. I think a lot of Indians do choose, you know, certain career. I think for us, the monetary gain,
Which you safe. paths,
stability,
yeah.
which I totally get. But then at the same time, you wake up 30 years in and you're like married to some women you hate and can't send your kids.
But I don't think that's an Indian thing, though. I think that's a
What?
people
It's the
thing.
truth.
Is it the truth?
I mean,
Is it universal
not,
truth?
Not just Daisies, everybody. It's like, you
Why
know.
do you think people have a
How
midlife
does everybody
crisis?
know?
Yeah, I
anything.
think the midlife crisis amongst like the generation above it is strong for similar reasons. But when it comes to the South Asian community, I just think like, I mean, I've spent a lot of time like analyzing my parents and my friends' parents, and I don't know, you guys, especially if you're all first gen as well, like first gen American. I think it's just like they were huge risk takers. They were just they were in survival mode for most of their life. And honestly, until like, you know, their goals were to maybe have a family, raise kids, and like live.
Wait, you're saying our parents were risk takers?
They came to a country, they didn't know the
Well, they
language and the
moved
culture.
and
That's a
they-
huge
I mean, I
risk.
just need to clarify.
Yes,
that's a
our
huge
parents
risk.
are risk takers. I truly believe that, because for a
I
while I
agree.
was like, oh, my parents are, you know, they just do the normal thing. But I'm like, but what about their life building that, you know? And now I'm starting to realize, like, yeah, the reason we're able to explore a lot of what we are and open our brains, it might be a lot more fighting, but it's because they, you know, literally their goal was to build a foundation. And now, once they've built that, now their brains are relaxing out of survival mode. So now they're like, oh, wait, like, I'm not really maybe happy in what I'm doing. They hit the midlife crisis.
If we're such risk takers, how come a lot of parents like want their kids to be doctors and engineers? Like,
Because they're still survival mode.
They don't want them to disrupt that foundation that they worked so hard to create. And they're like, you know, why don't you set yourself up for even
we're
more
not
success?
going backwards.
No,
Yeah,
but-
we're not going, you're not
but-
creating poverty from what we've done.
It's because they also feel in general that they love you and they want, that's what they see as safe and secure. That's all
What's
they know.
best
Yeah.
for you.
Because not all of them are like that. Like my parents have expanded their viewpoint a lot, but
Yeah.
they've done their own work. My parents will literally say, we don't care if you get married, your sister gets married.
Yeah.
We just want you to be happy. That takes a lot of self-work for them to come
Yeah.
to the realization that marriage doesn't equate success.
Yeah.
Or that I don't owe them that.
Yeah.
Just because they had me, because a lot of our culture but our culture, I'll speak, is a lot of guilt. Like, you know, they impose, look what we've done for you and all that type of stuff. And you can feel obligatory. Like,
Yeah.
I want my mortgage to be my only obligation. I do for you because I love you, not because you did something
Yeah,
for me.
but at the same time, you know, I don't like absolute statements. There are a lot of Daisy parents out there, including my own, and they gave me the foundation and runway to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
and,
Be an artist.
You know, and look at all the successful artists we have who are South
Not
Asians
speaking
today.
for everyone for sure.
Yeah,
But I think yes, you make a point, but it's just like I feel like they're doing it in general from a good place because they're fearful. They want you to succeed and they want you to
Yeah.
be taken care of, right? So it's like not
but
always
also happiness too. I mean, they want their kids to be happy.
exactly, and that's all they knew.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
happy, Shivani?
Yeah. I mean, I think happiness is a choice.
I love how you hold your dialogue drink.
They're going to love this.
Am I not supposed to be holding
No,
it?
no, I'm just saying. Sometimes people put it down too, and that's totally fine.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna hold it up. Hey, want to make a quick shout out to Dialogue. Thank you so much for these fine drinks. They're amazing. Jasmine, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking my dirty chai on brand.
Protein smoothie, the best.
Yeah, I'll have to try that next time.
It's amazing.
I'm drinking the Kyoto cold brew. It's actually my first time trying this, and I do recommend it.
Yeah, and I got the recovery shake. It's awesome.
The recovery shake after last night, Tarun needs it.
I mean, I need it right now. Thank you so much, Dialogue. We appreciate you. Check them out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You dance with Diljit Dosanjh.
How was that?
It's awesome.
Were you part of that controversy of like the unpaid dancers or something?
Yeah, it was during that time
Oh, man.
the Illuminati tour. I was a part of the LA crypto show.
I went to it.
You did?
Yes.
It was fun. It was a
love
good
him.
show.
Oh, you were there? You were dancing?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
How did
fun.
you get into that?
like that show?
Did you have to
or-
audition for it?
That show specifically, no. I've worked with a choreographer before. So a lot of the industries, like if you worked with someone before and, especially when it comes to shows, sometimes they pull dancers really last minute. So we have like one practice before that show.
So it's just
Oh,
built
wow.
on trust,
That's crazy.
like anything.
a lot of the
Yeah.
industry is built on trust.
Yeah,
And that goes for not the South Asian side also. It's like, it really, that's why it's good to, the training never stops, showing face never stops. You really want to just keep putting your best foot forward and eventually the opportunities will find you.
So what's the difference between like dancing for Instagram versus dancing professionally on stage?
It's a good question. It's a great question, actually.
Thank you.
One, stamina, huge. I think thankfully I was raised in the live performance environment when it comes to even Bharatanatyam and the school musical theater that I did. Everything was live. So I was trained to perform in like a one take sometimes if you practice for that. And there's a lot of practice that goes into that. When it comes to social media and stuff, you're really just dancing for the camera, you're dancing for the square. You're not dancing to take up space. So that doesn't exactly translate to a stage, right? You're dancing for 20,000 people. You're so small. So I think taking up space is not natural if your body doesn't know how to do that. So it takes training. It takes going to class. It takes putting yourself out in camera environments sometimes where you only have the one take to do it.
So were you nervous?
Yeah, terrified. Also because we had one practice and a tech time. That's it.
What's the other difference too? Because I feel like on Instagram, it's you. It's about you. And
Yeah.
when you're on stage, you're uplifting his performance, right?
Yeah.
Do you approach that differently or no?
So yes, when you're on your phone, you're the lead, right? You're performing like you're the lead.
Yeah.
You take up space like you're the lead. It doesn't really matter if you mess up because you're the only person on the screen. But when you're dancing with an artist, one sync is huge. If you mess up all the other dancers, right? More than the artist. Like the stage is the show is built for the artist, but the artist doesn't usually know what you're doing at
But
all.
you're complimenting the artist.
We're complimenting
Yeah.
the artist, but he again has no idea what we're doing. He'll show up and perform. It's the choreographer's job to know what he's gonna do, what he could do, where he's gonna be.
So did you practice
song
with
to
him,
sing.
with the choreographer?
With Diljit?
Yeah.
No. We only practice with him at tech time, but tech time is whatever songs he wants to run. Most of
Okay.
the show actually just happened raw, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
He even changed the show order the day of. So we're prepped for one song and he starts
Super
singing
easy.
another. So now we're running underground backstage. Like that's the job of a professional dancer. You're trained
That's interesting. I knew a
go.
dancer and she was very like, everything was very set of what they were doing.
That is normal, but not every artist will do that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's the artist's show. Like it's his show at the end of the day. His own team can't control him. And that's not just Diljit. I'm talking about anyone. At the end of the day, people are coming to see him. We compliment him.
Yeah.
So really it's what he feels, what he wants to do. And as the dancer, you know that. So to answer your question, it's also your interaction with the audience, right? Like a lot of stage dancing, you're dancing facing this way, this way, this way, and the audience is everywhere. So the screen will highlight Diljit whenever they want to. They'll highlight you, but you're not dancing for anything but
Yeah.
the people around you.
That guy's killing it right now. Acting, dancing, singing,
Yeah.
controversy. He's saying whatever he wants.
I mean, the controversy comes with the first two.
Yeah, I know.
If you kill it, you're going to get controversy, I guess.
I mean, do you feel like Daisies, we collaborate well with teams? I feel like we're very,
Individualistic.
individualistic.
I wouldn't say Daisies. I would say specifically it's where I've seen the most differences is I think the Indian industry is very different than the way America / Hollywood operates. I think the clashes come from in India I've heard like if the call time's 11, people may not show up at 11.
Oh my
But
God, I hate Daisy Standard Time. By the way, she was early for this.
I was not early. I was actually 5 minutes late.
Hey,
What
well,
time did
your
he
car
tell-
was already out there
He
before
said call
time.
time was 9:50 a.m. I came at 9:55.
You're good.
I've
Trust
had
me.
people walk into the studio at like half hour after this thing starts, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
No,
yeah.
but you're on time. But I don't know if Daisy Standard Time, like why we're so successful. I mean, like we are in America, but yet we can't read a clock for some reason.
No, you can read it. It's just you don't value it because you're raised where it doesn't have meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just that. I think it's a different entire way of operating.
But my dad didn't teach me that. He said if you're on time, you're late. If you're 15 minutes early, you're on time.
That's
So that's how I
great.
was raised my whole
That's
life.
great.
My dad's never been late a day. in his
Yeah, are
life.
you on
Wow.
time? She drives the farthest. She's
No, but
always on time.
she's always been great on time.
Well, you have to budget your time. Well, I'm a little like, particular, so I start to work backwards with the clock. But anything could happen.
I won't lie. I think that's if there's like anything I'm working on in 2025, it's that. I am notoriously sometimes just like, especially if it's a social thing, maybe not so much a work thing, but like a social thing, I'm like really
Well, the
never on
social thing,
time.
I purposely show up late.
No,
I
even when I
don't
want
wanna
to be on time, I just
If you
I
show up
don't
at a
know.
party, like the first one there, you're a loser. Like, what are
The
you doing?
first one there, but sometimes it's dinners even. Like
So dinners is disrespectful.
Dinners-
in a
know.
way.
dinners,
But if it's like an open
brunches.
bar type situation, you can come whenever
no,
you want.
It's
yeah.
it's the like I'm trying to work. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've just started really actively putting an effort into trying to budget my time better.
Yeah.
It's something that I've genuinely had to work on.
I saw you at a Amon's party.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of Daisies there. Like, and I was like, I'm not going to show up for this thing early. Are you kidding me?
That is interesting that that's just understood in our culture.
But he was throwing a watch party, so I think that's a little different. He wanted everyone to start watching this
Yeah,
thing
at that certain
together.
time.
Oh, and that didn't even start on time.
Well, I think because of everyone late.
But do you
I
know-
don't think that was because.
Do you know what my mom would do? My mom, this is so funny. She gave aunties different times for the dinner, knowing how they function. So I like know this auntie's always
That's so
late.
funny.
So I'm gonna tell her come an hour earlier than the other guests because I know she's always
That's
late.
crazy.
And I was like, yo, that's crazy
That's
that
a
you have
good
to do
friend,
that.
though. My friends did that to me once. They told me the reservation was 20 minutes earlier.
That's hilarious.
And then that accounted for my, like, not only the late time, but also, like, the buffer time that the restaurant gives you. And that day was the one day I was like, let me prove them wrong. I'm going to be on time. And then I showed up and they were, like, not even dressed yet. I'm like, guys, they're like, well, we knew you were going to be late, so we just gave you an earlier time. And I was so upset, but I was like, actually, that was really
You're like legit. I actually I've had to learn to have more grace for that because it used to piss me off pretty quick when people are late. I'm like, if you're 10 minutes late, that means you basically think your 10 minutes is worth more than my 10 minutes because
No,
I've been
yeah.
waiting for you.
I'm never late for business calls or anything like
But
that.
I'm talking about people that are for that. I've learned to like be forgiving the first time because I get pretty irritated.
Well,
with
you were
that.
raised to
Yeah.
be on time.
Yeah.
I get annoyed only if I've lost a reservation. 'Cause I'm like,
that's
if you're more than 10, 15 minutes late, now
Oh,
you've
yeah.
extended the grace period. We made a reservation. Now what are we gonna do? Like just stand and wait?
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that
Then
would-
I don't.
that
And
would
now I'm
be-
extra waiting for you.
But you have every right to be upset about
And
that.
I get
That's like
annoyed.
legitimately, yeah.
I don't mind if I'm on a date and the girl shows up late.
How late?
Yeah, what do you mean by late?
Like
5-10 minutes late is
she'll
not.
text me 10, 15. What bugs me is like if they flake completely. Like
That's just
That's
not cool.
wild.
That's
But
disrespectful.
But that's not even bug you. That's so disrespectful.
It's so rude. In this day and age, we all have like. It's not like we're all like waiting by a landline and we missed the call, and so someone just didn't.
But that
Show up.
goes with timing too. Waze will tell you how long with traffic and estimated time.
I will say the biggest deterrent for me being on time in LA is traffic, or not traffic. Sorry, it's parking.
That's
Oh my
fair.
God, same.
Parking's
Parking
fair.
it does add.
The
100%.
most amount of unpredictable time.
I have met women. I'm like, do you have guest indoor parking for this relationship to continue? Honest to God. Or like,
So
what
a
zip
parking
code?
spot for me.
Yeah.
He's a charm.
Or like,
He's a charm.
or if
this
like,
guy.
if you're in or in LA, I'm like, if you live in Santa Monica, and I gotta.
You guys are demographically incompatible.
That is a long distance relationship.
It
for me.
is.
So funny.
Maybe that's unpopular opinion. I've had my hinge set to like the max distance. Cause I'm like, what if my person's in San Diego?
See
I
how a
don't
guy
know.
thinks and how a girl thinks.
Well, no, they're
I think
matching too
she's the
though,
only
because you
one
have
that
to. Then we both have to match.
San
with each other.
Diego?
That's full. I'm
What
going
if?
there today, but my God.
What if? What
I
if?
hope she's
what if the guy's
special.
not in
That's
it?
not
I'm going
gonna
for my
last.
family.
Oh.
I got a comedy show tomorrow night. Though.
If you're dating someone long distance and it's out of another state, I'm sorry, or country,
You think it's not going to last? I actually
No.
think Indian people do that best, first of all, which is the whole premise of Dill Mill, which is why they don't just match you in close proximity, because
You
they
out your
know
mind.
Indians will travel for love.
I will not.
They will.
I will not.
you have watched too many Bollywood movies.
Yeah, you're in
I
so
know
much
couples
romance.
who have met cross state and gotten married.
It
It
can
definitely
happen,
works,
but
yeah.
I've been a long distance, and the toughest thing is, in my opinion at least, is
Well, I
that
don't like long
you're not
distance.
experiencing life together. You're reporting what you did to the
100%.
other person. So it's like, how was your day? Oh, I did this, I did this. But in reality, it's like, I
Yeah.
wanted to go to the restaurant with you,
Yeah.
not tell you how the burrito
And then you
tasted.
get married and live with
You
the
know?
person, and you're like, this person's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
we're all
I might be
we're
touching
all
on.
unmarried here, so we don't know who's right.
Jazz's person's in London right now.
One of them.
To be fair, though, I do think with social media and the internet, you can meet someone from anywhere, and their couples can. I'm sure people watching this have met people on dating apps or
Yeah, if you're in London, you can message Tarun and just be like, hey.
DM me, Tarun Shetty. I will.
But you better
consider-
have guest parking.
yeah, guest parking.
Guest parking.
He'll fly to see you, but you better have guest parking.
And an updated photo.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you got your dance stuff. So what do you want to do? Do you want to transition into acting? You just want to keep dancing? Like, what's your ultimate goal?
Yeah, I think eventually I do actually want to transition into acting, but right now, I am building out like that, like more they see femme, they see heel space. I think it definitely is taking, just time to like warm people up to it. I have been teaching more of those classes around. I love creating my content. I honestly had to take a break for a little bit as some other parts of my life were changing, but I want to continue doing that and like eventually translate that onto a bigger screen too.
Yeah, I think social media is a great like microcosm of like the business because it just forces you to like put stuff out there. You're a personality, you have an audience. Like say you get super famous tomorrow, that's going to multiply by 100. But also you can do that on social media even without TV and film. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the best part about social media is it really just gives me a space to connect to people that resonate with me. You're throwing things out there, but the only people watching it are the ones that
who's your audience aside from middle-aged dudes?
35 to 45-year-old white male Kansas. Is Shiv dance is like
That's
that's
so
her
funny.
thing.
No, that dances in heels.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like that's
yeah,
what
I
gets
didn't
them.
realize. Yeah, there are quite a lot of men that watch that content.
They see guys are so creepy, by the way. Oh my God.
All men are
Yeah.
creepy.
But
Yes.
as-
Wait,
not
all men?
generalized,
I'm
Joe.
a
Let's not
guy.
generalize.
I don't like
These two aren't
generalizations, actually.
yeah,
No, I can be creepy.
I think my
I don't
favorite.
think I'm creepy, honestly.
I can be. I have my creepy
I
moments.
don't
like,
think
oh,
I've had
that's
creepy
creepy
moments. I don't know.
Yeah, I tunnel vision away from that. But my
You tunnel vision. You don't have guys in your DM going, "Hi, I would like to make friend with you or friendship with you."
they're there,
Yeah.
but I don't pay attention.
Jazz does. Jazz messages them back.
Hi. Make sure you like and subscribe.
I went out last night with and the person I was with, she was very attractive, and I could see guys just converging on her. And I talked to her. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I can handle myself." But I was like, "Man, this is like a nightly thing for attractive females. Like you have to deal with all these sharks coming at you all the time. Like you almost learn like these defenses and how to be aware. Like I really empathize for women in general.
Yeah,
putting
I
yourself
mean,
out
thankfully,
there.
at least I live in West Hollywood, so
Hey,
I'm usually
Yeah.
helping my guy friends out a little
Oh,
bit
it's good.
more. But
Is there anything else that you want to talk about, promote?
one of the messages I'm very passionate about sharing is, especially when we've been talking about heels and like the femme side, and the thing is, it's not about like dancing in heels for me. And if anyone's out there, like if anyone's seen me on social media and everyone's like, what? I don't think I talk a lot on my social media. Maybe that'll change soon, but I don't think a lot of people know who I am. And the thing is, my space isn't a space that I designed to, and my content is not designed to push people to become professional dancers or, say that all their passions have to become professional. I think my entire purpose for like creating the Daisy Heel space, not only to uplift like artists that are maybe not as mainstream as Bollywood, but also people that are like us trying to create cool new music. That I love finding cool new artists out there and stuff. But it's also like if anyone's out there wanting to step into an uncomfortable space and explore who they are, male, female, whatever, like my space is designed for that. I want people to just come, be able to try something, push themselves to feel uncomfortable in a safe place.
Yeah.
Maybe surrounded by people that maybe feel a little more approachable to them and do that, even if nothing ever comes out of it. And sometimes it's just that push to try something so different that gives you the confidence to then, attack a different area of your life.
Well, you're doing it. I think you're doing it.
You're killing
doing
it.
a great job.
Thank you.
You're a good role model.
And now people get to know you. You just
Yeah.
say you don't talk this.
People know you.
Yeah.
They know you a lot from this. Yeah.
Jasmine, where can we find you on social media?
You guys can find me at Hot Chai Pod, primarily on YouTube, but also on Instagram.
You can find me at the Pritesh Shah on everything.
Nice. I'm shiv.dances on everything.
Hey.
And you can find me at Tarun Shetty, and please follow us at the ConvoSutra. Hey, Shivani, I want to thank you for coming by today.
Yeah, thank you all. I loved, I've met you in a different space. I've met you in a different space. I got to meet you today, and you guys are all great, and I'm really excited to
Yeah,
see you
thank
outside
you.
of this podcast.
And thank you, Pritesh. Thank you, Jazz.
Jai Shri Krishna, Shivani.
Please don't forget to follow us on social media. Join our Patreon. We appreciate your support, and we will see you guys next episode. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.